It's time for all your binge-worthy pop culture news. Welcome to Up and Adam.
Hi, guys. Welcome back. All right, guys. Happy Wednesday. You guys know how it goes. Wednesdays are always one for a big announcement. And that's exactly what we're doing today with Zach Peter. And shortly, we'll be joined by, well, the best, the greatest, the number one legal commentator on YouTube, Emily D. Baker. So we'll be back with her, or we're going to be here. I don't even know what the hell I'm saying. Guys, don't forget to smash that like button. If you're not subscribed, get subscribed. And let's welcome Zach Peter with 150 in the room already. Hi.
Hi.
Oh
Hi.
I've had 4 shots of espresso with no food, and I'm definitely feeling it.
I haven't had 4 shots of espresso, but I'm on my 4th cup of coffee, which is close.
Okay. All right. I have a lot going on over here. Zach, while we're waiting for Emily, I told you that I have my family in town. So they came in on Sunday and they leave on Sunday, but it's been a lot of running around and trying to rally them together. It's crazy, but you'll get to meet them at one of the locations of our tour. I just don't want to tell which one on here because I don't want people to know which one's my family.
I can't wait.
All right. Susie, let's see who's in the room. Zach and Adam are so great together. Hi, thank you. Second espresso in the making. All right. Hi, Adam and Zach. Hi, Zach. Someone got some color and is looking good. Oh my God. Hi, I'm so excited to be a part of this. Hi. Good morning, everyone. Yes, so we have another big announcement for you guys today. You are going to freak out. This is not a talent announcement, but I'm not going to give you any more information than that. If you guys read the banner on the bottom, it's 500 in the room, and then we will make the announcement. So once we hit 500, we're setting the bar high, Zach.
Yes, we are.
All right.
I can't wait. This announcement is so big and people have been wanting it so badly that it's exciting. But last shout out. Yeah. Today is the last day to get your tour merch, guys.
Here, should I give the twerk today?
Yes. Oh,
no, just kidding. All right, guys, we're back to talk about the Real Housewives of New Jersey. And I asked you because the mid-season trailer came out. I am so happy that this is a shorter season, but the mid-season trailer came out and I asked you to rate the trailer 1 to 10. The majority of you voted a 7 to 10, saying that it was explosive and exciting. So I want to ask you guys the same question in the live chat. What would you rate last night's episode? Zach, I'll start with you.
I think I would rate it a good 8. I thought it was good. I thought we had some fun family moments. I thought we had some good drama. No, I think I'm going to give it like a 7.5. I don't think I would give it a full 8 just yet because I feel like there's more stuff that's going to be coming down the line. So I'll drop it down to like a 7.5.
All right. Well, we have a 7 here. I think I would probably give it a 7, 7.5, 6-ish. Okay. All right. I thought it was interesting. We picked up the episode where we left off last week with Bill, who's getting up, exiting the table because the guys are giving him a lot of hell over his wife. Now, he feels like in order to defend his wife, he can't partake in the conversation, which finally, I'm like, Bill, we've been waiting for you. Where are you? What did you think about Frank going after him, trying to get him to come back, even though it was a failed attempt?
I think Frank is doing his job and he knows how to earn that housewife's paycheck. And he knows we need resolution. You always need one good housewife that's willing to kind of bring everybody back in the groups that we can keep the discussion going. And I think Frank Catania knows how to do that. He's a very good housewife. He deserves a peach, a diamond, an apple, whatever we want to give him.
Okay. I love that. And, also I agree with Rob J in the city. I thought Tiki's line of questioning, Tiki and Tracy are really trying hard to be on the show and have that position. Tiki got in there and was like, well, what's up, Louie? We heard that you hit women. Is that true? There's a lot of rumors. And I was like, Tiki.
Listen, somebody needed to do it. Somebody needed to be the one to ask the questions that nobody else was willing to ask. And I think Tiki was the best person to do it because he doesn't have the relationship or the history that the other men in the group have. Well, actually, no, that's not true because Louie's new. I I mean, but I guess they have like a relationship to like Joe and Teresa, and there's like history there that I think for Tiki being the most removed from the group, he could kind of come in and throw that out there because he also has the least to lose. You know, he doesn't have a relationship with Teresa. So if he burns that bridge, he doesn't really care.
Right. I love who said Kate said, can we keep Tiki and can Tracy? And also Tinsley's opinion said Tiki was like, we ain't waiting around. Let's get this tea. I agree. I mean, I love the fact that he's asking the questions. And mind you, Louie, like he always looks like he's on guard going into any filming situation because there is so much going on in his life. There are so many red flags, so to speak. This is going to be brought up. I don't know why Teresa is getting so offended that the guys are asking Louie these questions when it's in the press, they're in articles, and there's so many things that Teresa at this point is refusing to open her eyes to. Or maybe she is opening her eyes and she's just not sharing it on camera. But think about it. You have alleged abuse, you have the court cases, you have the video. Am I missing something?
I mean, other than him clearly like just being creepy overall.
Yeah.
All the allegations you covered.
I mean, it's actually a little crazy, but okay. All right. Where are you, Frank? We don't have Frank, but we do have Louie Ruelas. So Bill ends up telling Frank that, you know, they've all crossed the line and he doesn't want to stay where he's not wanted. And now they all want to know, okay, from Louie, because he's the new target, and they all end up getting drunk. Fast forward, we wake up in all of the housewives' beds with all of the husbands and they're hungover as hell. What was probably the biggest shock factor of this episode for you?
Waking up in the morning, thinking about so many things. The biggest shock factor throughout the episode. I mean, I guess I was just surprised that somebody really put Louie in the hot seat and grilled him about these allegations, and he addressed them. You know, I think this is the conversation Margaret was looking to have earlier on, and I think we could have put a lot of it to rest had we just had that conversation earlier on. So I think I was just surprised that we actually had that conversation and somebody had the, you know, confidence to be like, look, I'm going to ask him these questions. I don't care if Teresa gets upset. Like, these are the things we need to know. And I was surprised that Louie answered the questions, even though I don't know how honest he was, but based off of his answers to Margaret at Jennifer's shore house, he also wasn't entirely honest there. And I don't know if I believe that the women were really the ones that were abusive and, you know, he's just got a bad picker. I think he needs to have a little more accountability.
It felt like I agreed with Margaret when she said it feels like deflection. By the way, guys, 350 in the room, smash that like button, show some love. But I agreed with Margaret. This felt like deflection at its finest. It's almost like there's attention on me, but hey, look over here. She stabbed her ex. What? And you have a bad picker? Okay. Louie thinks that he stayed in the relationship since he was not strong. And he also still chose to propose to his ex, even though she allegedly tried to stab someone. Now, Louie thinks Teresa is his perfect match, but I don't know about that. And for Teresa, I was reading comments on Twitter where they were like, if she has any brain cells left, she needs to get out of this relationship. And I'm like, guys, that's not nice, because Louie did end up giving Teresa a big scroll.
I mean, listen, if you're not big in other places, you need to bring a big scroll to the table.
What was your takeaway with the big scroll?
I thought it was overkill. I thought it was a moment for the cameras. I thought, you know, he was trying a little bit too hard.
I mean, it reminded me of the time that I went to my interview for Vanderpump Rules season 2, and I was faking that I was in a relationship with this girl who was Miss California. So she told me to show up to the interview, and she's like, bring me flowers. And I was like, flowers? So I walk in and production's sitting there and they're doing the interviews. And I was like, here, babe, here are these flowers for you. And I'm like, this is the same thing that I feel like Louie's doing, except he's not in my position. This is very different. Anyways.
Can we talk about the fact, though, that he, like, just to pivot back to the wife stabbing her ex, or his girlfriend stabbing her ex, and how he was, and they were like, well, don't you think that was a red flag that you knew that she had this history? And he was like, well, maybe I should have, listened to that more. But yet now here Teresa is in the same situation where there are these allegations against her boyfriend who has been accused of alleged abuse in his past. And yet he doesn't think that, she should be concerned. She doesn't think that she should be concerned, considering he was already in that position and is now trying to put all of the blame onto his ex for being crazy. I just think,
I'm getting
pot calling the kettle black.
I'm getting whiplash with this. We have to bring up Emily D. Baker, who's in the room. We have to bring her up and ask her what she thinks about it. But before we do, I wanted to bring this up really quick. Hold on.
What?
This is a big deal.
Or what?
Congratulations, Emily D. Baker on 200K. All right, let's go ahead and bring up Emily. Guys, we already said we have 400 people in the room. At 500, we will be making our big announcement. Let's welcome Emily D. Baker. Hi.
Hi. This morning's been kind of a mess. Thank you for being so patient with me. Camera wouldn't
work. A pretty
work.
Mess?
It's a hot mess. It's not a cute mess. Husband got stuck with my kiddos out and about in my car because the key battery for the Tesla died. Thankfully, you can download a cute little app and drive keyless with the app. So I was walking him through getting home so I didn't have to get in the car and go rescue him.
Oh my God, I love that.
Let's talk Housewives of New Jersey. Hello, chat. Adam and Zach, it's so good to see you both. This episode was
That's
too
like
much
the modern version of your car running out of gas. Like,
yes, the key battery dying is exactly the modern version of your car running out of gas.
Okay.
Which is easy to do now that it's like $7. It's easy to be like, I can push it a little further. Everyone's too young for this, but everyone's going to play the Seinfeld game where Kramer like went to see how many miles you can get on empty and was just like, I'm going for it. I feel like we're going to see a resurgence of TikToks playing the empty gas tank challenge. I feel like that's what's coming next.
My mother used to do that. We would be on the freeway and she'd be like, it's okay. We can make it another
20 miles. I got 20 miles.
And I'm kind of, listen, I play that game with my phone battery. I'm like, I'm out. I'm on 2%. Let's see how far we can take this before it dies and I'm stranded. But yeah, that took me back to when my mother used to do that on the freeway.
I actually have a funny story about this real quick. And guys, we do this, especially when Emily comes on.
I'm sorry. I bring my ADHD to the conversation and we just enjoy it.
I love it because there was one time, Jason, we went on a road trip from New York down to DC, and we drove down in Jason's sister's car, and they decided to let me drive, which don't ever. And I drove us the wrong way down the Lincoln Tunnel. Okay. And there was a car.
I would do that.
And it was snowing. So this was a whole shit show in itself. And then we're getting to DC and we're literally like 5 miles away. And I didn't notice that the car was on E. And I looked down, all of a sudden the car starts shutting off and the steering wheel locked, which is so dangerous. And I pull it to the side. And Jason's like, we're one exit away. It was 2:00 in the morning. We had to call his dad to bring us gas. And I was like, oh, okay. All right.
That's awful.
Emily, we were talking about the red flags with Louie Ruelas and this ex. When he was asked by Tiki Barber, who asked the hard question that we all appreciate.
We love Tiki coming in and being like, I don't know how this game is played. I just have questions and we're not going to beat around the bush.
Yeah, I love it. And because all of the other guys are like, well, we don't want to piss off Teresa. And Tiki's like,
I'm not afraid of Teresa. Flip a table on Tiki Barber. Come for me.
Exactly. What did you think it was deflection? What were your thoughts on him saying, I was in a relationship and she actually stabbed somebody. So nobody's talking about that, but yeah, I just don't have a good picker.
He was trying to make it seem like she was crazy and that all of the allegations are false because she's crazy. He was just playing into, that bitches be cray. That's what he was leaning into. It was icky.
Mm-hmm.
Are you finding, with all of this, are you thinking that it's going to, like, in your opinion, are there a lot of red flags here? Or do you think that they're playing it up with editing and Louie, he's just getting a bad edit?
I think there are a lot of red flags. And the reason I say that, because normally I'm not going to stick my head into anyone else's relationship. I'm going off of Gia. So I'm basing my concern off of Gia's concerns, and you can see it from her. So if if Teresa's girls are concerned, I have concerns. That's what I'm kind of basing my concerns off of. Teresa's a grown woman. She can do what she wants to do. If she's just happy getting her love tank filled, then go for it. But when her kids are concerned, that worries me for her. I think Teresa likes being in the position of being able to defend someone and save someone. And I feel like Louie is love bombing her. It feels very much like the typical pattern in controlling relationships where you get these huge displays of love bombing and then they kind of make up for the negative parts or the fights or whatever she's going through. And it feels like that pattern's playing out.
You know,
so what do you think of? Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, because Zach, you read the book, and Emily, you have the book. In that book, Not All Diamonds and Rosé or something like that, the Housewives book, Rob J in the City made a great point because Danielle was allegedly stabbed in the back by Teresa with a fork. So maybe they are a perfect match. I don't know.
I mean, and I think Teresa I think she's carrying a lot of old school tropes about women with her. I don't think she's done nearly enough therapy. I think she's carrying around well, who's going to want you now? Like you've been to prison. I think she's carrying a lot of that with her. And I think that makes her more forgiving of what Louie is putting out there because he's willing to accept her as her. And she's like, look, I'm messy too. And I think she said it this week or last week because I watched them both together. Like, I'm messy too. I've been to prison. I've like lived my life on TV. Who's going to want to sign up for all of that? And Louie's like, I'm auditioning to be the next best housewife. Let me get you a scroll and put it on a boat. Like, it's just so much.
I asked Zach, what did he think about oh, sorry, Zach, I keep cutting you off. Go ahead.
No, I was going to ask, you said that your concern came from Gia and what we're seeing of Gia on the show. I'm curious what you think now that we know that Gia supports their engagement and doesn't want Teresa to get a prenup. I
think I worry that Gia's just like, whatever, you're my mom, you're going to do whatever. I think Gia's concerned. And I think Teresa has to get a prenup. And I think not getting a prenup is, I mean, these are basic things in modern times. Like, look, if you meet someone in online dating, you Google them and figure out who they are. And before you have adult relations with them, you have a conversation about what their sexual health is. And these are just adult, mature things you have to do if you're going to be with someone. And if you have anything of your own, I'm not talking about 20-year-olds running off and getting married, building their lives together, because a prenup's not going to stop you from having to share that. But if you are an adult who has your own thing and has your own children, a prenup protects everyone from going through a messy divorce. Though then again, I said that with Kim and Kanye, and he's like, hey, Emily, deuces, I'm going to prove you wrong. There's a prenup. It lays everything out, and I'm going to make it as messy as I can. So
I mean, and I think Gia at this point too, I think that she's saying what her mom wants her to say in front of the cameras and on Watch What Happens Live. So it looks like she has her mom's back. But I have a feeling that there are some more intense conversations happening without the cameras there. And I know Emily is always super busy and she does not have time to watch What Happens Live. But last night they kind of covered this a little bit. And Teresa announced that she has a date to get married this summer. And Melissa Gorga is not going to be one of her 8 housewives. Well, bridesmaids. She's a housewife, but not a bridesmaid. Okay. Messy.
Of course.
Love it.
I mean,
messy.
Of course.
Messy.
She doesn't want to give her sister-in-law more screen time. I feel like Teresa's still sitting there looking at, I made you. Like, I brought you onto this show. I made you. And I'm not going to give you any more screen time. Like, I feel like that's where Teresa's at with her sister-in-law.
Well, she said that she won't film the wedding unless they give her own spinoff. She said she's not filming it for New Jersey Housewives. So we'll see.
I'm sure they will. I mean, Andy loves her. People are going to want to watch. I think Louie has stirred up enough drama that people are talking about him, that people are actually interested in whether she's going to go through with it. I'm sure it'll be over the top and doves will be released and Teresa's going to cry about her parents not being there and being in love for the first time in her life. Like, it just scripts itself out.
Yeah.
Okay. Francine said, congratulations on 200,000, Emily. Well deserved. Best of luck on your tour, Adam and Zach. Love from sunny Florida. Hi,
Yay.
I'm also in Florida. All right, guys, we have 550 in the room. We said at 500. I got to keep setting this bar higher.
The law nerds showed up.
The law nerds showed up. We have another big announcement for you guys, and we are so excited to share. Everybody has been asking because we sold out of Los Angeles right away. Nashville's not far behind, and New York, of course, is our furthest state out, but tickets are still flying. And everyone keeps reaching out, and they're like, we live in Canada. We live in the UK. We're in Australia. We wish we could be there. Well, we have a solution. Zach?
Well, thanks to our amazing friends at Birchbox that Adam and I are now madly in love with. We love us some Birchbox. But we're announcing that you can now live stream all 3 shows.
All 3 shows.
We have GA tickets, VIP tickets, and a special VIP bundle package so that you could actually get access to all 3 shows. And so VIP comes with access to the show, access to the recording, and then Adam and I will be taping a very special behind the scenes series that we're going to share with our VIP ticket buyers.
Oh my God, that's so fun. I love it behind the scenes. Are you guys like vlog style in it behind the scenes?
A little bit of both.
I love this.
We're definitely going
and obviously we're going to definitely film with you too, Emily. You're going to be in Nashville with us.
Yeah, obviously, but I love a peek behind the scenes. You guys, if you want to, because I've gotten to hang out with Zack and Adam behind the scenes, and it is fun times. So if you guys are on the fence, just go do that now. I mean, that's a win-win-win-win-win.
I mean, listen, it's definitely going to be a crazy time. Are we doing the little bus in Nashville where you pedal and you drink at the same time?
We have to.
Did you say I don't pedal?
We're going to do a bus. We're just not going to do the pedally one. There's one.
I'm with Emily on that.
I don't want to pedal, but there's one that's like a fire engine, and there's one that's like a giant tractor that pulls you around. There are lots of fun drinky buses. What's so funny is Nash Vegas snowed last weekend, and there were these amazing pictures on Twitter of all of these bachelorette parties of women in little teeny sparkly tops and little teeny skirts and really cute matching boots in the snow tromping around Broadway. It's just everything. So no. We will drink bus if you want to, but we're not pedaling.
Okay.
Well,
nope. No.
There we go, guys.
We'll do there's the drag queen bus. Maybe we'll do that one because that'll be a good time. But
the drag queen bus would be a good time.
There will be, and for those who are wondering too about the live stream tickets, like Zach said about the VIP tickets, the behind the scenes, we have a videographer at every single show. So we will have fun after party tidbits before. We'll be covering it all. And I think we're going to even try some cryotherapy and stuff together to get ready for the show. I don't know. There'll be a lot of behind the scenes. It's going to be
so good.
But it'll be good.
I think I'm going to go to Dr. Jen to get some Botox. Dr. Jen out here in OC.
Great.
I need to get it touched up regardless because my trust
You're
me,
like my eyebrows can
face.
almost touch, so it's time.
Yeah, it's time, but I'm like, maybe I'll do Dr. Jen and we'll film that. That could be kind of fun.
Or you could do the Bella Hadid and just tape.
No, I'm not gonna tape.
Oh, okay. Okay.
That's too much work.
It goes up into the hair, and it might, you've got to be mindful of the hair too. Adam.
And then it can snap off on stage.
Yes.
That would be not cute.
Can you imagine half of your face is just hanging down while the other half is like pinned up because the tape fell off?
I'm older than both of you. I could absolutely imagine half of my face hanging down. Yes, I can.
All right.
Well, guys, go and get your tickets at spillingtealive.com. GA tickets, VIP tickets, and VIP access, our ultra VIP packages, all available at spillingtealive.com. And we do still have a couple of tickets if you want to hang with the 3 of us and more at our New York show and at our Nashville show. So don't sleep on those tickets, guys. Go and buy them this week. Head to spillingtealive.com right now.
Absolutely. And by the way, before we get back into the New Jersey recap, Emily, have you ever seen Molly and Cynthia on TLC or no? Oh my gosh, you're going to love them. They're on Pillow Talk. They're absolutely hilarious.
I can't wait.
Their banter is wild. And then we also just confirmed another person who will be joining us on stage for a surprise in Nashville. I'll have to tell you when we'll tell you off of here because it's another announcement. But I
love knowing a surprise, and tell me it's a surprise so I don't say anything. Be like, Emily.
That is funny because we do have to give you the heads up. It was like earlier, I was sitting there, I was on the phone with my brother and I was talking shit about my other brother and he's staying at his house and he said, bro, you're on speaker. I was like, can you tell me when I'm on speaker?
You've got to warn me about these things.
Right?
I mean, this is the third time that he's caught me this week doing that. And I'm like, oh, he's going to think I'm such an ass. Okay.
I can't wait to
All right.
grow up. I got plans to blow up.
Back to New Jersey recap.
It ain't easy.
Emily, I want to hear your thoughts on this situation that's going on with Bill Aydin and Jennifer Aydin. You know, it was revealed that he had this infidelity over 10 years ago, and Jennifer did her best to hide it, not only from her family, her friends, anybody in her life, herself. And now she's kind of confronted with this, and she has to face the music. She has to talk about it. She has to deal with these feelings that she, you know, pushed way down 10 years ago. And now she's like, I'm pissed. I'm mad. I don't know if I'm going to get a divorce or not. I don't know what the future of my marriage is. What are your thoughts?
I don't always like, I'm not the biggest Jennifer fan overall, but what I have to say is I feel like she's been very, very open about her life for the first time in her time as a housewife. She's been very open about the people around her in previous season. She's been willing to poke the bear at all the other housewives. She's been open about her mom, her dad, her brother. This is the first season we're seeing her be really raw about her. But I also understand, I think Jersey is the perfect cast for her because she has parents who are also very old school. And when Jennifer was talking with her brother, like, my parents told me if I wasn't a virgin at getting married, my husband would return me. She's not joking. Like, those are things that she was taught to internalize, that everything wrong in the marriage is her fault. And so I think being around the other women and being on TV has given her a little perspective to say, this isn't my fault. Infidelity when someone is pregnant is like it's next level of a hit to your, you know, your ego, your self-esteem, and your life, because there is nothing you can do. I don't know very many women who feel very fun and cute being pregnant. It's a very odd experience. And so my heart hurts for her. I don't think she ever healed from this. I think it's ripped off all the scabs and she's going to have to process it now. And I don't think Bill and the guys are helping. You know, you've got the guys stirring it up to try to be the house husbands and get their own spinoff show and taking pokes at Bill. I don't think Bill knows how to deal with this on TV at all. And of all of the guys, I think he has the most to lose professionally just based on what he does. So I see Bill being very stuck. I see Jennifer wanting to be open. I see her coming from a family that didn't encourage therapy and leans into, if your husband's cheating on you, then you're doing something wrong. And she's trying to unpack all of that on television. So I commend her for digging in. I mean, for really digging into it, because what she went through is really, really hurtful.
You know, and to be fair too, people forget this little tidbit, but there are husbands, like when the Evan rumor went around and Jackie was talking about, like, he has a very high position in his field, like this could affect his job. And now
what does Evan do?
He's like a big financial bigwig, I guess. I don't really know what
he does. Lead generation. Just tell me he does lead generation and lead monetization.
No,
he does things in the gym bathroom, Emily.
Okay. No, he does not. But the point is, Whitney Rose's husband just lost his job, and I think he was the CEO.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he was the CFO of Life Vantage. And he
look, if you're the CFO, what you can't do is get down to your boxers and roll around in paint on TV while smacking your wife's ass. Like, this is not okay if you're the CEO of a company. The board's not going to be okay with that ever. You've got to keep that in mind.
Well, I mean, hey, Krista just bought my VIP bundle. Hey,
get it, Krista.
But you know, the rumor is that he actually got fired because of that scene.
Yeah. Well, look, okay. So I'm old and I've worked in very traditional professions. And my husband ran his own dental practice. Like, I can see how this can go for people. And he's not in Miami. He's in Utah. The perceptions are different. The expectations are different. And I can judge that all day long. But the reality is he needs to be mindful of his own job. And I don't know who gassed Whitney Rose up to think that this was a great idea, but she should have gone back to the stripper pole and not tried to bring her husband so much into it. If she wants to flaunt her body, which is amazing, go ahead and flaunt your body on the show. But you don't need to pull your husband into a place where he is at risk professionally. He didn't sign up for the show. And that's the same with Bill. Bill is a professional and he didn't sign up for the show. And you see that push pull of him not being sure how to engage.
Right. And I'm sure that there are a lot of people too, since he's a plastic surgeon. Like, I'm sure there are women out there who may, and I'm not saying that there's like hundreds of them, but I'm sure that there are women who may have thought about, you know, I'm in the area, I want to get some work done, but you know what? F you, because who cheats on their
cheated on your wife? Yep.
Right?
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. It would make you think twice. Differently than last season, where you're just like, maybe you want to go to the Real Housewives husband for plastic surgery because it's great. Different than like Evan. If Evan's working in a more traditional field, is working in finance, his target audience is not women who might watch this show. Bill's target audience is women that might watch the show. So it's different for all of them.
Yeah, and I would imagine that there's like a morality clause in their contracts. I mean, I know even when I go into contracts with certain brands, like they have morality clauses that are like, you're not allowed to do certain things that may look distasteful. And when you have such a high position at a company like he did, I mean, I was even like seeing her on the stripper pole and seeing her give cakes with her boobs to other men. For me, that was like you're dancing on the line, because even though it's not him directly, it's still through association. And so I was a little like clenching my pearls for the sake of his job, not necessarily because I thought it was in poor taste. I love it on the television show, but I mean, for the sake of his job, yes. And then their naughty little sex scene was a bit extra.
Right.
It was too extra. I didn't need it on my television. And I'm not a prudish person, but I'm watching Housewives going, why are you trying so hard? And that's what I'm taking away from Louie, particularly this last episode is, but why are you trying so hard? Like, who are you trying to prove this to? And that's kind of what, made me sad. But I also, Emily back in the day loved making out on a plane and making people uncomfortable. Emily now has been married 20 years, and my husband and I high five when we get the steak we ordered at dinner. Like, it's just, you change as you mature. And Whitney Rose's husband is older than he is, or older than she is, fairly substantially. And when you're in a professional career, all of that reflects on you. I can't imagine what it was like before the fall from grace for Tom Girardi trying to show people Erica's music videos. Because I imagine there were plenty. He liked that, but I imagine there were plenty within he was established enough in his own firm that nobody could say anything. But behind the scenes, the eye rolling and the look at you with your third wife.
At the puss.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, okay. They were asking behind the scenes, I'm sure. This is pure speculation. I'm sure people were asking behind the scenes, who's patting that puss? Because it's not Tom. Like that, those are the conversations when she's doing the music videos and what have you. So.
Oh, Erica, just give us the diamonds already. Okay.
Or what?
Or what?
I loved your tease on social with the can, Zach. It's so good. Did you do a close-up yet on this stream?
No,
you've got to put your hand behind it like a real influencer, so the screen will focus on it and not blow it out. There you go. Or what?
I like how Emily's coming on and she's like coaching us. She's like, I'll get you guys together.
No, you got it. You got it. It makes the camera focus when you kind of block out your face.
Like my
autofocus.
Credit.
Yep.
I hope you can't see the tanner on my hand. Okay. I'm very Jersey today. Okay. And I was going to say too, I think I even called you one time, Emily, because we're talking about like, these different companies, and Zach was saying that, different sponsorships or where he has to be kind of aware of these things. And I think I reached out to you because there was a company who manages YouTubers, and they reached out to me and they were like, hey, we want to manage you. We think that we can get you to 500K in, like the next 2 years. We have big ideas for your brand, but you need to stop talking about Bravo, only cover TikTok influencers. We need you to do this, this, and this. And I was like, that's a total, that's completely different than what I do now. Yep. So I don't know.
It's interesting being on kind of this side of it after so long working in a more traditional way. It's interesting watching it, and the morality clauses are now changing, Zach. So depending on when and how long these guys have had their jobs, that might not be there, though most workplaces have some expectations because you also represent the company, and the higher up you go, the higher those expectations, or the more those expectations can reflect on the company. But these are conversations that these couples have to have before they get cast. The casting process is not quick. These are very this is a long process to get there. They have to have those conversations. I just wonder who the producers on site were that were like gassing up Whitney and her husband, being like, this is amazing. This is what everyone in America wants to see.
Well, you gas them up because if he loses his job, that only makes a more compelling story. However,
Yes.
I think Whitney and him are putting way too many eggs in this Housewives basket. We see that they cleared their savings in order to rebrand this beauty because they knew that they had the show to promote it. He obviously knew that this was going to participate in that scene. You know that you're putting your job at risk. Whether they're going to air it or not air it, you don't have control over that. But you know that by engaging in that behavior, that's a chance to ruin your opportunity to continue to be employed. And I think you really have to, I think these housewives of Salt Lake City have a really big ego to think that Salt Lake City is going to be around in 15 years. We have New York and OC that are hanging on by a thread, and they were the ones that were exactly, and those were the ones that started the entire franchise. And like, we're seeing housewives slowly start to circle the drain, that it's very brazen for some of these women, especially like Jen Shah, to think that, like, you know, we're going to be good and the show's going to live on and we're going to be celebrities, you know, and it's very,
I mean,
by the time Jen Shah gets out of prison, there's not going to be an Andy Cohen sit-down special.
Jen Shah's not going to prison.
Jen Shah's absolutely going to prison.
I mean,
Jen Shah is going to prison. Jen Shah is probably going to get sued for copyright infringement on top of it for selling shirts with the photos that the paparazzi took outside of the courthouse in her merch. Jen Shaw doesn't give a fuck. She doesn't care anymore. Jen Shaw's like over it.
Before we get back to New Jersey, I mean, what did you think? Did you see the third part of the Salt Lake City reunion? What did you think about Heather Gay? I thought this was interesting when Andy looks at Jen and says, you know, we know that Stuart Smith, Stu Chains, he ended up, you know, changing his plea to guilty. And Heather was like, maybe that's the vindication that you need because he's accepting responsibility and you're going to be.
That's not how it works, sweetie. That's not how it works, Heather Gay.
Heather is a very...
People don't plead guilty to take responsibility. Yeah.
Heather's a very optimistic friend. I don't think she is well aware of how federal criminal trials work. And though someone might plead guilty to take responsibility for their own actions, the overriding consideration in pleading guilty is that you are going to get reduced time for taking early responsibility. And then if you also work with the prosecution, you may get further reduced time because the court appreciates that you've made it more clear for the jury as to who is responsible. The reason I want to go to New York and watch this trial go down, I'm not really that interested in seeing how the prosecution runs their case. I am very interested in seeing who they bring up that are past defendants. I'm very interested to see if Heather Gay is in court every single day, because sitting in court, y'all, it has spicy moments, but mostly it's boring as hell. And I want to see if Jen Shah testifies. Like, these are the big things I'm looking for. So I'm very excited to see what happens. No, she doesn't. She has the right to not testify. I think her ego will not allow her to not testify. I think she's going to, like Elizabeth Holmes, I think Jen Shah is going to be like, I can explain this to you. Let me tell you. And we've seen her be very charming. After the reunion, we saw a lot of people saying, you know, I don't like what Jen Shah did, but damn, she was really likable at the reunion. And that feedback might encourage her to testify, thinking she can charm a jury.
See,
Zach's like, no.
No, well, here's the thing, though, because Jen Shah, people saying like, oh, I can't believe I actually like Jen Shah. I'm like, when has Jen Shah taken accountability for any of this? When has Jen Shah acknowledged the victims? When has Jen Shah done anything to show any sort of remorse? I don't see Jen Shah giving up her earrings. I don't see Jen Shah clearing her Gucci closet
over there. Hold on, Zach and I
no, I'm just saying because there's a double
Jen Shah
standard.
Doesn't have to yet until she's convicted. It's different. It is different.
I'm going to see her. I promise you right now, I bet money on it. She's going to be like Jussie Smollett, getting locked up, taken into jail, and still saying, I'm innocent. I didn't do anything to these people. Grandma lost 40 grand. Yes. But that's not my fault.
She's also going to say that men do this all the time. and they never get popped for this, that these are marketing tactics. This is the story. These are marketing tactics. This is not a criminal case. If anything, it's a FTC case or FCC case for marketing regulations, and that she is being picked on because she's a woman. All of the other co-defendants are males. All of them have pled. So if they bring up every male co-defendant, Jen Shah's attorneys are going to hammer on, look at them all ganging up on the woman. Look at them trying to make her take the fall. And I think they'll lean into the societal moments that we've had with things like Inventing Anna and other stuff, being like, this is the Martha Stewart of it all. Men get away with this all the time and women don't. And I think that's the direction Jen's defense will go. And maybe not, but if I was them, if I was the prosecutors, I would have an all-female team. And if I was the defense, I would have an all-female team of lawyers to try to combat that.
Wow.
Listen, Jen Delvey is really going to push her, really going to push. I mean, we can call her Jen Delvey or Jen Smollett. Pick one, Adam.
No, listen, Miss Girardi over there. And by the way, Erica didn't just give up her earrings. Erica was forced to give up her earrings because she has not done one thing for the victims. She's cooperated with
she could be a little more remorseful, yes, but Jen Shah has not done any of those things either, and Jen Shah has been arrested and charged. So that's my issue with the double standard is Tom Girardi committed the crimes.
But Jen Shah did the things. Jen Shah's alleged to have done the things. Jen Shah's alleged to have done the things. Merch. And is merching #NotGuilty. But Jen Shah had the audacity to go to court and argue that the Hulu special was improper pre-trial publicity. And now she's out here with #NotGuilty merch. And I'm waiting for the prosecutors to be petty and to take it into court and be like, she's putting out improper pre-trial publicity. They might not, because that's a little petty for federal prosecutors. But I want that moment to happen, because the stuff we're seeing in court has been popping off with them saying you can't use Bravo footage because it's all Franken edited, and Jen Shah subpoenaing everyone and trying to subpoena the Hulu the Hulu documentary and everything behind the scenes. Jen Shah she's doing the most, but she has to. She's fighting literally to stay out of prison. Erica's different though, Adam. A lot of this Tom Girardi did, and I still can envision Erica asking questions and Tom Girardi going, babe, don't worry about it. I got it. I settled $1 billion case. It's fine. I can still see him trying to keep her in the dark as well. Because nobody's looking at Coach Shah being like, Andy asked once and then they all moved on. Did you know where the money was coming? And Coach is like, why would you even ask me that? Everybody got in Erica's ass about it. No one's getting in Coach Shah's ass. And Coach Shah worked as a lawyer. Shouldn't he? Look, Jen Shah has already been investigated by the FTC and gone to depositions and been sued. And like Coach Shah knew what was going on, at least from that lawsuit. We have proof that Coach Shah knew, and no one gives a shit. I'm just saying.
Maybe Coach Shah didn't know that his wife was going to court.
There's no way he didn't know his wife was giving depositions. Your spouse is a lawyer?
If Jason was going to court and getting sued, Adam, you're going to tell me you had no clue that was happening?
By the federal government, getting sued by the federal government and going to depositions. There's no way you don't strategize with your spouse on that.
To be fair,
who has a law background?
Jason got a parking violation the other day and he paid it, and I didn't know about it until I saw the credit card statement. So there is,
and then you still knew, you
had access to the credit card statements that were being shipped to Girardi Keys.
Oh, okay.
Jen Shah would have been paying for lawyers. Look, I'm just saying, there is no way Coach Shah didn't know. I don't know, and I still don't know how much Erica Girardi was kept in the dark. I don't think she is a victim of the level that Tom Girardi's clients are. Tom Girardi swindled banks, clients, other lawyers. So if all these other lawyers were kept in the dark, including like Jay Edelson, why do we think that Erica wasn't? She benefited, and that feels really gross, but we still don't know what she knew. Yeah. He fooled quite a lot of people.
I mean, right. But Erica, in my opinion, is giving me red flags like this guy, because I'm thinking in my head, maybe you didn't know, right? Maybe your husband left you in the dark and he was just buying you millions of dollars worth of shit. And you're like, hey, I'm with this older, wealthy man. But you know now,
So does Jen Shah. So does Jen Shah.
But Jen Shah has not been proven. There have been no proven victims of Jen Shah.
Arrested and charged. The same victims that you see on The Housewife and the Hustler are the same victims you see in The Housewife and the Shah Shocker. Neither case has been fully proven.
None of those victims were actually tied to Jen Shah, whereas the Girardi victims, they had audio clips and they were his actual victims.
I'm going to send you a link. When you look at the Better Business Bureau complaints about these companies that Jen Shah is associated with, you can see all of the people saying how much money they lost. And they're in the indictment too. And they're in the other indictments because this is the third part of this. Jen Shah is part of a much larger scheme. Tom Girardi's is so much more tangible because we saw Kimberly Archie and the Rue Gomez family in this documentary. The victims in the Jen Shah case can't be in a documentary. That case isn't over. It's still going to trial. They may still testify at trial. The Rue Gomez family is done. They, Joseph Rue Gomez was injured. They sued with Tom as their lawyer. They won a settlement. Tom took their settlement. They sued Tom. They got a judgment. Tom still wouldn't settle their judgment and pay them. They perfected their judgment. Their stuff is as done as it can be, which is why you can get them on TV. You can't get, and if I'm the prosecutor and anybody calls me and is like, we'd really love to talk about the Shah Shocker, you can't. You can ruin the trial by doing that. They can't speak up until this is completely done. And after Jen Shah's trial, it will be. So that's why it's different. But Erica's is more tangible. Erica's behavior on social is different. But why is Erica's behavior grosser than Jen Shah selling #NotGuilty merch?
Well, technically, I have a theory here. I think Stu Chains is going to take the stand and he's going to be like, listen, you need to let her go because it was all me. And I apologize and I effed up and Jen Shah is innocent and I need you to just send her home, Mr. Judge, court person, please. Send her home.
Heather Gay would love it.
And give me her sentence.
Can I tell you what's going to happen?
Yes.
I mean,
this is how I see this going once Stu testifies.
Oh, God.
She was my boss. She made me lie to the FTC in a deposition. I've already pled guilty for perjury because she told me I had to lie. After the FTC sued us, she made me switch from text messaging to Telegram because it would be harder to trace. And then she asked me to switch all the LLCs to Wyoming where you don't have to put your name on them, so it would be harder to trace. And then she asked me to be the one to move the money around because she didn't want it attached to her name because she was trying to become famous. And then she wanted to go on The Housewives and live this life that you've seen that was extravagant because she was the one with all the money. This is my very modest house, and these are my children, and this is my wife, and we lived a very sedate life. When the feds came knocking, they only took this amount of cash out of my house. How much cash did they pull out of her house? Would you like to see all of our text messages and emails? Here you go. She is telling me that I am the one making her money. Oh, did you see her trying to feed me a banana, saying that I was making her money on the show? That happened. On and on and on.
Mic drops 2 Chains.
He is going to lay her the fuck out in court. And that is his best bet.
Mention it all.
He's going to mention it all. It's going to be great. And then he's going to be cross-examined. And it's like, well, didn't you benefit too? And he's going to be like, yes, but she told me what we were doing. I drove her around. I helped her. She was the one who was connected with all of this.
See,
he's going to sink her.
I think what is going to happen is Jen Shah, they have 1 million pages of documented evidence, and Jen Shah's going to come in and she's going to be like, guess what? Here's my Monique Samuels binder. Here are the receipts, and I didn't do shit. And you guys are trying to pick on me when there's these 12 other people over here, or 11 or 12 or 13, however many that they are, that changed their plea. They're guilty. They're taking responsibility. So here's my binder showing that I'm innocent, and I for you.
And then Stu will say, here are all the text messages. Here are all the email. Well, I mean, to be fair, though, she did switch communication from text message to Telegram, which is an encrypted app so that the evidence could essentially be destroyed at any point. Should it ever need to be? That's hypothetical.
Because on Telegram, you can delete both sides of a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
You can delete your side on yours and on theirs.
Oh, that's
but
like
before
Instagram.
that, I'm sure Stu's got some receipts. I'm sure Stu's going to be racking in with his binder because we know that Ronald Richards posted the court documents that showed the documents that had been concealed.
I think that Stu hasn't pled yet. There have been some things filed under seal, which is probably stuff going on with Stu getting ready to testify. But I think Stu's going to be the main co-defendant that testifies because he's the one who worked most closely with her. I think others will testify. It's always hard having a co-defendant testify. Can I tell you guys a story about a fraud case I tried real quick?
Tell me.
So I had this co-defendant fraud case that I tried. The guy who was kind of the brains behind the whole thing was on trial. He thought I was an idiot because I was a girl. I loved it. His co-defendant came in and testified. Co-defendant hated me, was super angry. In Los Angeles, a lot of the times when people testify, they wake them up at like 2 a.m. at county jail to put them on the bus to get them to court. So they're always cranky when they come in to testify. And he kind of told me the whole thing, what he was told. The defendant chooses to testify. And I said, well, are you telling me that so-and-so did all of this? He's like, bitch, he's not smart enough to do all of this. And I was like, ladies and gentlemen, he's not smart enough to do all of this. He couldn't help himself by the time we got through the cross-examination to not take credit and pride for what he had done because he still didn't see it as wrong. So when you get co-defendants testifying, it pushes the defendant to want to then tell their side of the story. They want to say, no, what they told you isn't it. Let me tell you how it is. And they have to. They are compelled to talk about it. It's why we're seeing Alec Baldwin not shut up about the Rush shooting. There is a personality type that is ego-driven, that is compelled that you are going to understand their side. You are going to listen to how it is. And if you don't agree with them, they are going to try to scream you down. And that's what Jen did all first season.
I mean,
that's exactly
what Anna Delvey. Anna Delvey was like, you guys, I want to be known as this businesswoman correctly.
You guys, I stole a plane. Stop looking so poor.
Yes, Anna Delvey, thank you. All right. So I guess let's take it back to Jersey because I feel like I just got
back to Jersey. I'm just saying this is what's going to happen and I'm living for it. I'm so ready for Jen to go to trial. I wish her trial was starting in March. I don't look forward to being in New York in the summer. Part of me is hoping it will get put over until like the fall.
I think it's going to be pushed back again. I just have a feeling.
Me too.
I think we need a Spilling Tea New York part 2 when Jen Shah's trial happens.
Oh my God, yes, I'll be there. And you know what? You could probably get Heather Gay as a guest because she said she's going to be at the whole trial.
Oh yeah, there we go.
God. Okay.
Oh my God, it's going to be great.
In other news, did anybody feel bad for Antonia for having to have a Sweet 16 birthday party in a new school with new friends?
I did.
Did you?
I did. Well, I have a 14-year-old. And when my kids are like, Mom, I don't want to do this, I try my best to listen to them and not try to force what I think I want to do on them. And I see it as her mom trying to relive the Sweet 16. Melissa, throw yourself another party. If your daughter's like, I really don't want to do this, stop trying to force it on her. If she says, I don't want to do this right now, sometimes you got to listen to your kids. I really did feel for her because her mom's like, no, I'm forcing this to happen. And kids at that age don't necessarily want what their parents want. I mean, I didn't appreciate it when my parents forced me to do stuff I didn't want to do. And my son looks at me and he's like, Mom, it's like you're just imposing your will on me. And I'm like, sometimes that has to happen. Like you got to do your math homework. But when it comes to a party, what the kids want should matter more, I think, than what the parent wants.
It feels like Melissa's because she shared her experience with having to move and like go through having the separation with her father and losing her father when she was that age as well, that I think she wants to make she wants to make the best of the circumstances, knowing that she already moved Antonia. And so she thinks that this party is going to be good for her. And she thinks that pushing her back into cheer is going to be good for her when, I think
she
Antonia
has her 16-year-old with a trainer 3 times a week.
Yeah. I think she needs to just let her settle into the new space and into the new school and into her new environment. She's going to be pissed. She's, a teenage girl or just a teenager in general with hormones and hates her mom. And like, that's normal teenage stuff. You have teenage angst that that coupled with the circumstances, you just need to give her some space, some time, and then she'll come around. But I think Melissa's trying to project her own experience from her being a teenager and trying to make it up for Antonia without giving her space to just process.
Yeah.
Rob Jayne,
if she doesn't want a party, don't give her a party. I mean, it's such a selfish thing as a parent to be like, but I want you to do this because I want to put it on TV or I want to put it on Instagram. I want this experience to do this for you as a parent, so I'm going to force you to do it as a kid. They don't want to do that.
I mean, to be fair, Rob Jayne the City, thank you. This chat is juicy. We appreciate you. And guys, by the way, everyone who's giving me crap for questioning Emily and her legal background, I am just kidding. I am not questioning. I never want to go to court, never been to court. I don't know shit about court. Emily is my go-to. I ask her, I talk to Emily off of here and I call her with all of my legal questions and text her. And I'm like, I'm sorry for harassing you, but can you?
Yeah, it's never harassment. Look, I've been an attorney for over 15 years. I love being asked questions. I'm here to help. I love doing legal analysis. It's always weird. I'm so much more comfortable when you guys reach out and you're like, can we talk about this? Except Zach, who has a full ass law degree now. Like he's Elle Woods himself into the legal. But it's always weird to me when like the LA Times reaches out or like ABC or whatever. And I'm like, oh, like we normally just do this on the YouTubes, but okay, we can do this in the regular media too. So legal, you know, it's hard to be a legal analyst without the experience. So I'm glad I have the 15 years that I worked, but I'm really glad to be doing this now. So
but also, Adam, people forget that our job is to question things. Our job is to play devil's advocate. Our job is to provide alternate perspectives. So, and I don't think, I think your job is to ask Emily these questions and to question her position, not necessarily because you're questioning her, but because you're trying to add more context and put more information out that makes it understandable for everybody watching. And that's our job.
It's not I don't ever take these conversations personally. It's like, but why do you think that? But what about this? And could that happen? That's just a conversation. It's so interesting because I think online, especially on Twitter and in Instagram comments, people try to have a conversation, but everything's read in with a little bit of snark. So if you question why somebody assumed something, people get pissed. But we're here to have a conversation. And part of that conversation is, well, couldn't Stu just say it's all on me? I mean, he could, but I don't know if he will.
I mean,
exactly. And this is what you'll get in Nashville, guys. SpillingTeaLive.com.
Thanks, Zach, for the plug. By the way, Zach, last time somebody told me what my job was at Ruby Tuesdays, and I quit because I didn't want to do the dish pit at the end of the night.
And I said our job. I said our job.
I'm just kidding.
Wait, they made you do the dishes at the end of the night?
Well, they tried to because our dish person ended up getting the person who was working the dish pit. She was pregnant and she ended up going into labor. So they were like, Adam, since you finished up your station in your section, we need you to do dishes. And I was like, I can't do that. So I took a lot of the dishes and I tried for a second, but instead I started throwing the dishes away to make it look like they were gone and they were clean because there were clean ones up in the rack. So I started just throwing all of the dishes, the dirty dishes, and I put them and I wrapped the garbage bag and I put it by the back door and I ended up not having a job anymore. Anyways.
Adam's like, have you seen these cuticles? I don't do dishes. The poor woman goes into labor and Adam's like, I literally can't do this.
I'm sorry.
I actually quit a job.
Erica Jayne of you.
I can't touch certain things. I don't like my food touching. I don't like when things touch me. I don't like people touching me. I can't touch that. And it's a germ thing. It's really just a germ thing. And I was also going to say, Antonia, you should take your sweet 16th birthday party because when I was 14, my dad moved me away from my mom from Florida to Tennessee. And then he sold me on the idea because he bought me a baby goat. And then when I went up to my room for the first time of seeing this house, I had a chameleon in the room. So he bought me off with animals when really I would have liked to have a sweet 16. That's all.
I would have given you a sweet 16 as a child for sure. My kid wanted new stuff for his bow and an airsoft gun. And so, it's like you've got to go with what your kid wants to do. I would love to keep throwing big parties for my kids. It's not what they want. So I do feel bad, but also I know what that's like on both ends of like your parents imposing their will on you and then you as a parent having to do that work to not do it. I don't think this would be such a big deal if it wasn't on TV. I think Antonia is struggling after an ACL tear. An ACL tear is a pretty serious injury.
Yeah.
And so it's, you know, I really feel for her. Her whole life's gotten turned upside down. I think she probably wants to be able to live this part of her life not on TV.
I agree with that. I agree. And you know, and since we're talking about Jersey too, Zach, are you frozen? Oh no, that's
No.
just your face. Is that what you were gonna say, Adam?
Yeah, he was just like zoned in.
It was a Kourtney Kardashian moment.
I did feel bad for. Oh yeah, that was funny. I did feel bad for Dolores though when we're talking about her mom on the show and her mom. What was the procedure again?
She needs a triple bypass, which is the valves. Like you have four major arteries around your heart, 2 going out and 2 coming in. She needed 3 of them to be bypassed because her heart is blocked. So the at risk for a heart attack is scary. But Dolores, I love Dolores showing up to the spa with brows done and no other makeup. She's stunning. Like every time I see Dolores, she's one of the few housewives that gets on screen without makeup on that I'm like, girl, yes.
Yeah.
She's just stunning.
I agree. I mean, and we all love little Frankie Jr. You know, so
Yes.
I love Dolores. I really do. So
Emily, what is your biggest, and I'm curious about this, but what is your biggest takeaway from this season? Like, what is piquing your interest the most out of this season? Because we got the mid-season trailer. We know that shit's about to hit the fan. It's about to get explosive. Margaret Josephs is going to have a moment with Teresa. We're getting Table Flip 2.0. And Margaret Josephs will be joining us on stage in New York City, by the way, guys. But what are your thoughts on this season? And what is kind of getting you the most excited to watch?
I'm excited, obviously, to see them come to Nashville because I'm in Nashville. I'm excited to see how that goes down. Watching the husbands for Jersey has been very interesting. It's the only group of husbands we see get regular airtime like this. And it's an interesting thing watching the kind of Jerseyness of it all, with some of the men being like, don't get involved in the women's drama. And then Joe Gorga being like, give me a spot, bitches. I want to be a housewife. So it's the interplay with the husbands has been really interesting for me. And that's one of the things that has kept my curiosity, because it used to be fun. And it used to feel organic. And now it feels like they're also running story. Like Joe Gorga is trying to run story and stir shit up. It's very interesting to watch.
I feel like too, Joe Gorga is probably the only husband in housewife history that can look at his wife and be like, part of the reason that you're actually still on the show is because of me. So you're not just this housewife who has it all because they're that interested in you. No, it's because you come with me and I come with the sister.
But I also find that so Joe Gorga controlling though. It's like, everyone's here because of me. Like, I don't know. It's interesting to watch the evolution of Joe Gorga on this show. And that really does fascinate me. And I enjoy watching Big Frank, but then watching Evan kind of pop off at this dinner, I was like, oh, Evan's getting, where is this coming from? Like, Evan hasn't really been spicy. Zach's like, very spicy, very spicy. It's making my mouth water.
I don't get what the fascination with everybody in Evan is. Like, everybody thinks Evan is like this hottest house husband ever.
Who do you think is the hottest house husband? And don't say Mauricio. That's such a basic bitch answer.
No, okay. I think it's Catherine Edwards'
I like
husband.
Mauricio because I'm a basic bitch.
Okay, first of all, you can hardly consider her a housewife. She was on for like 1 season and nobody remembers her. So you have to pick another husband. Joe Gorga? Tarzan?
Gosh, I have no one. Well, the women in New York don't even have a husband. None of them have husbands. Wow. So they're out.
Very sexist of you, Adam.
No, it's not. And then, oh shit. Yeah, you might be. Oh, okay. Thank you, Michael. Denise's husband that she cheated on with Brandy, Aaron Pfeiffer. Yes, he has.
Aaron's
to be
hot.
Yes.
But his dick scares me. It's too big. No, thank you.
Okay, we have. a lady in the room, and that is not how you talk in front of a lady.
I've also been frightened by big dicks. It's fine.
Oh my God.
Adam's like, we have a lady in the room, and Zach's like, but I know this bitch. It's fine.
I'm like, no, I was talking about me. I'm the lady.
That's totally fair. You're going to be the one clutching pearls, but I don't understand the fascination with Evan, but it was interesting watching Evan get spicy. And I agree with the chat. The chat is like Coach Shah. Coach Shah is a cutie. Tiki Barber is also really attractive, but I don't think he's a housewife husband at this point. And his wife is kind of stirring it up with people.
I also think Mike Hill's a good-looking guy. Cynthia Bailey's husband.
Oh.
Yeah, but we didn't see much of him. And he wrote a whole book about how he cheated his whole life. So that doesn't make you really that hot. I mean,
I'm also kind of into PK.
Okay.
What?
No, said no one ever.
What is it? Is it because he's Is it because he's spicy on the gram? Is this why are we loving PK? I've got questions.
Do you just love him because he doesn't like Dana?
Don't even start with that again. Everybody's gonna be
shady button.
I gotta hear. What's your defense on PK?
No, I've just heard from women that have dated him that he is just like, he's got this vibe. He's clearly not physically my type, but he's got just like an energy and a vibe. And he also doesn't seem to have the stamina that like Joe Gorga like has in bed. And like that makes me happy because then it's like I can sit here and count your money and get my glam. And then I only have to give you a hand job on Thursday nights. I'm good.
Not as much work. Yes. I get that. Charisma really does go a long way.
Charisma goes a long way.
See, I think you're just trying to avoid being the see you next Tuesday of the week. So you're ass kissing right now. But okay, I see what you're doing. Oh, Aaron D, that's another good one. Thank you. I was thinking Tamara's husband and
he's hot.
Eddie.
Apollo's hot.
Apollo too. Yes.
Apollo's at the top of the list. Yeah.
Okay. Zach, obviously Emily answered this question, but for you, what is the thing that you're looking forward to most this season? With the mid-season trailer out, I asked everybody in a poll before we came on, and I said, do you guys like the mid-season trailer? Does it make you excited? And the majority voted, yeah, we're into it. And Emily, I don't know if you know this, but this season is only 14 episodes compared to...
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Salt Lake City was like 24.
I mean, Salt Lake City had to draw out all of the Sprinter van moments of it all. Like there was a lot that happened in Sprinter vans this year. So I feel like this season's been a little bit slow. Jennifer Aydin's storyline can only take it so far. And we're getting a lot of airtime with the husbands because there's not a lot else going on. So I'm not surprised it's only 14.
By the way,
I like the shorter seasons. I think
I do too.
It condenses everything and it doesn't drag anything out.
I'm actually kind of not mad at her new nose anymore. That's her old nose, her new nose. I feel like it's like a nicer gin with a new Turkish nose. No,
I don't like the new nose. I thought, but I also I don't like everybody looking the same, and maybe that's from living in LA for too long. Yeah. But you can see it. It's like, oh, nose A, nose B, nose C. It's like, great. I can see which one you picked. I thought Jen's face looked really kind of unique and dignified and strong, and I really liked that about her. I mean, everybody is making me want a chin lift from like Emily Simpson and OC to Jen. But I think if she had just done the chin and just left the nose alone, it really balanced her face. And I thought she was lovely. So I think that's more of an internal thing than an external thing with the new nose.
Which, by the way, Emily, since Zach and I don't have kids, Zach, your face is like throwing me off. Every time I look at you, you're staring at the screen and I don't know if you're paused or if that's just your face. It's throwing me off. Like there's no movement.
Maybe I don't need to get my Botox touched up.
God. What, Emily, I don't know if you heard about this, but I'm just curious because you have kids and we don't. If your kid came to you at 14 years old and said, Mom, I don't like my nose that my ancestors gave me and I would like to get some rhinoplasty. Cue Bella Hadid. Bella Hadid just came out in Vogue and said that her parents let her get a nose job at 14 years old. Would you ever sign off on that? Or would you be like, no, you want a nose job? Wait till you're 18 and you decide as an adult that you want to alter your face.
So I have two boys. boys' faces don't stop growing sometimes until they're in their early 20s. So I would ask them to wait until their faces stopped growing to make that decision. Though I wouldn't be opposed to doing the like filler based nose job. If somebody was really like, oh, I'm unhappy with this. It's like, okay, we can go with a less permanent solution. But I don't think I would be down for a permanent face altering surgery unless it was medically needed, with a kid who had gotten a face smashed with a something and needed their nose to be fixed for that reason, which is not, I think Bella's was all cosmetic. But you don't stop growing. Our faces still grow and change. And I think it's hard to do a nose job on a 14-year-old face that still looks good on a 24-year-old face. And I also know that now we've moved. Things are just a little bit different here in Nashville. My kids don't have nearly as many classmates that aspire to be TikTok stars. So I think there's also something about moving that has helped. So I would not sign off on that at 14, but I think that needs to go kid by kid by kid. But your faces still change, and I just don't know how you make that look right.
Your bones, everything. I mean, Kathy Griffin talks about how she got 4 nose jobs because every time she would get a nose job, her nose would grow back into its original nose.
I mean, by the way, Miss McGinnis, I think that's how you say your name. I'm actually starting to like Zach when he is serious. He's a lot smarter than Adam. Thanks, girl.
Did I look stupid before? Is it the blonde hair that was throwing you off?
And I went to 13 different schools before I went to college. So I got my fair share of education.
I was like, I have had all of the education.
Yeah. I mean, I think I went to like 4 preschools, and that's not even counted in the 13 schools. So I learned the fundamentals of whatever education. I mean, honestly, I can't tell you one thing that I remember from school, which is really sad. But I watched a lot of Housewives and Bravo, and look where it's got me today. So lay off of me, Miss McGinnis. Thank you. And Mike.
But also did she not like me before? Like, I'm still hung up on the earlier part of her comment.
Well,
she only likes me when I'm serious.
To be fair, I think the difference here is, Zach, like Emily and I, we're just like one of those people where you walk into a room and as soon as we strike up a conversation, everyone loves us. And you're more of like it's like putting a pot on the stove and you have to warm up the water to get the food done right, to make the ramen noodles. Like we have to warm up to you. You know,
you're like a slow boil. I think my social anxiety protection mechanism just reacts differently. Where Zach is like, love me or hate me, I don't really give a fuck.
How many F's do I give? Kidding. 0, 0, none, not 1. 0, 0, done.
Guys, also, please don't rip me apart in the chat. I'm just kidding. I'm playing with Zach. I've never thought he's easy to love. I'm actually the bitch. Okay?
I'm not easy to love, but I'm easy to lay.
I hate you.
Unless it fits in within certain specifications. I was on a live stream with a bunch of other lawyers and we were talking a little bit about the Kim and Kanye divorce, and people were asking what it was about Pete Davidson. And I said, it probably has something to do with,
he's a
being well proportioned, and no one knew what I was talking about. And one of the other lawyers is like, what are you saying? And I'm like, I'm just saying it's more than a mouthful, y'all. Like we've got to make some assumptions here with Pete Davidson. And again, no one was picking up what I was putting down. I'm so happy to be here with y'all where we can just have these important conversations.
Yeah.
And like really get to
Emily.
Get to the heart of the issue.
No, yeah, he's built like a tripod. That's why, that's Scott Disick was the one who outed him for having an abnormally large figure.
I love Scott Disick. I know that might not be the popular opinion, but Scott has been so raw on television through the mess, through the recovery, through losing his parents, through, not being able to be in a relationship with Courtney because of all the stuff, like too much water under the bridge. I've loved watching that evolution on TV. It's been fascinating.
And I love
fantastic.
his honesty and vulnerability in the sense, like he also like brought into the storyline, I'm afraid of the show ending because I'm afraid of like the family leaving me behind, which is like, pulling behind the curtain and being like, I'm not just, scared of losing Courtney. It's like, no, I'm scared of being ostracized from the family, because we saw in the new trailer where Kris Jenner's like, you don't go against the family.
Yeah,
I mean, Kris Jenner is like full on taking like the family and treating it like the firm. Like she's like, I'm gonna run this family the way the queen runs the royals. Like you cross us, you're dead to us, and you are iced out by the entire family. But Scott became a part of their family. His kids are part of that family, and he's lost his family. I can only imagine how scary it would be to think like these are my people, and if we stop filming together, they could all be gone. I mean, I really do appreciate that. So good TV on Scott, but I love also that he gives us the shade, and now we're getting the kids in that franchise starting to give us the tea when they get on social media. So it's going to get real interesting because we've got like another wave of Kardashians coming up with social media.
I mean, I'll never forget North being like walking into Kim's bedroom while she's laying on her bed and being like, "Look, Mom, I'm live on TikTok." And she's like, "No, you're not."
And Mason getting on there being like, "Oh yeah, this, oh yeah, that, somebody's pregnant." It's great. So I know that was not the point of today's show, but I'm sorry.
Listen,
we had a little meander.
So much. This is going to be, I can't wait. I cannot wait for you to meet again, Molly and Cynthia, because
I can't wait.
Conversations with them too are very similar to this, where we just kind of flip flop around. This is Molly and Cynthia, by the way.
Well, we all love reality TV, and I it's not just Housewives reality TV, and that's the fun. That's the fun.
Yeah. Yes. I like talking about other people's lives and escaping from my own sometimes. Okay.
My life is really boring. And I like it that way. I don't want I appreciate the voyeuristicness of watching it. I don't want to go out as much as these women go out. I don't want to be glam. I want to play Mario Party with my kids during spring break. Like I enjoy watching it, but I cannot live that. Like my excitement this week is I'm redoing my office because I got a new computer and a new camera and a new monitor that's sitting back there. Like I'm geeked about it. I'm so excited.
See, yep. My life, like nothing exciting going on over here. I get it.
I mean, I guess we did.
I want to get glammed every day,
which I love for you.
And Zach lives in his penthouse in Los Angeles, and like life is great.
Zach's fancier than the rest of us. It's very, very true.
Definitely fancier. But if you look in his background, it looks like somebody might have a drinking problem.
Okay. No, I don't have a drinking problem. I have a drinking brand. If you knew what it took to run a business, then maybe you would understand how much it takes to run a business.
Bringing the Kardashian out. Here comes the Kardashian. Get your ass up and get
your ass to work. People don't want to work these days.
You know what? I have
me with that.
For women in business. Get up off of your fucking ass and do the work. And then Zach decides to repost that and then gets a lot of shit from people. And people are like, Zach, you're an ass because people
How many F's do I give? 0.
0, 0, 0, none. What I loved about that, though, is that after that, Kim was like, no toxic work environments. Everyone loves to come to work. I'm like, have you met lawyers? Like, you're trying to become a lawyer. Have you met lawyers? Like, you're not, what? Some of the most toxic work environments are law firms. Well, I just think it's hilarious.
Her lawyer ring situation is going to be very different, where she's like, let me find somebody who I think has been wrongfully convicted, and then I'll call Joe Biden and Kamala, and then I will get them free. And then at least if I do that twice a year, on top of running Skims and KKW Beauty, it's still KKW at this point. It might just be.
I think they're going through a Whitney Rose style rebrand.
Right, but they can afford
it. It's like Kim's. I think it's Kim's is what they're going to call it now.
So Skims and then Kim's.
Yeah, Kim's is going to be the beauty line that she's doing. Kim's Beauty.
Great.
Yeah.
We have Kim's Beauty already. It's Makeup by Mario.
Yeah, and I don't need Kim's Beauty because Rinna Beauty is where it's at. Okay?
Give them Lala Beauty is where it's at.
I mean, listen, Lala these days is kind of irking me a little bit with her hypocrisy. I just got to say that. She's out here like, one day I'm so afraid for my daughter because one day she's going to read things about her dad and those are going to be tough conversations. And on the other end, she's like going on podcasts and she's like, Randall is a narcissistic pig who I never wanted to sleep with. He grossed me out. I didn't like anything about him and he groomed me. And it's like, what?
Yeah, those are some big allegations.
Yeah. So just saying I don't know. Anyways, guys, we've done.
Do you think Kim will consider that Lala put in the work? Do you think that type of work is going to count for Kim or no?
What do you mean?
I
Well,
mean,
she was like,
it
I never
depends
wanted
on
to
how
be with
good-
Randall. I mean, you know, she put in the work
Depends on
or
how
not?
good the BJs were.
I mean,
it got private jets, it got PJs, and it got Range Rovers.
that
She
he
put in
obviously
some
couldn't
work.
afford.
Listen, I don't like TMJ the next morning, so I don't put in that much work.
Okay.
So if Lala's getting a PJ out of it, she's putting in something.
I mean, I don't like physical interaction. That's why Jason and I have 2 separate rooms. So
Adam's like, I don't touch dishes. I don't touch anything.
I
Like,
don't
just
even
seal me in a
touch my
bubble.
own thing, let alone am I touching anybody else's.
I cannot wait.
This
to
is a
go
conversation
on tour
for the
with
after
you.
party. That is a conversation for the after party. We are going to have that conversation. There's just going to be drinks, and we are going to have that conversation.
Speaking of which, guys, again, before we end up signing off here, those conversations, since we have a great videographer and photographer following us around, it's going to be like our own little Housewives situation for the after party. I can't wait to have a camera in my face while I'm trying to not get plastered on Zach's rosé. That's going to be fantastic. You guys,
what do you mean trying to not get what? You're setting unreasonable expectations, Adam.
I mean, well, Zach and I talked about it, and I said that I'll do 1 drink or 1 shot before the actual show, and then I'm going to.
I didn't agree to taking a shot.
Well, isn't a shot? Listen, drinking one of your cans of rosé is like for me drinking a whole glass of vodka. Like that.
But you could sip. You could sip one of the rosés. I'm not taking a shot before we go on stage. Maybe.
I mean, I think so.
Now
I
I'm
think
tempted.
Some good tequila. Like we'll just take a shot. Cheers. Here we go. Boom. Let's jump into this shit. How many do I give? How many? You know? See?
And I'm down for the rosé. I'm all here for it. And I think
and
in
the new white
Nashville,
wine.
I'm so here for it. In Nashville, we have lots of the medical drip. So you can do them the day of and the next day for the hangover killer. So we will get it all dialed in so we can drink in a smart way.
Which,
oh yeah.
By the way, Joe Mendoza, thank you. Yeah, you're right. I should have chastity belt merch. Okay.
Well, Joe, today's the last day to get your merch, guys. So today's the last day to buy the merch. They're not available at the show. So those of you that are getting live stream tickets, you're going to want to get your merch so you have it in time for our first show on April 7th.
I mean,
snap, snap, pat the puss.
Listen. Oh, Zach, you already put this out?
Surprise.
Okay. Surprise, Emily. It's not a surprise anymore. We have a very, 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 very amazing, talented drag queen. Her name is Vanity, and she will be participating. And that's all I'm going to give you guys. But if you want to watch and you can't make it to Nashville, just go to spillingtealive.com and grab your live bundle tickets. And real quick before we go, what was I going to say? I don't even know what I'm going to say anymore. I have my family in town and they're driving me absolutely insane. So I guess I'm going to go babysit the family and stop Jason from killing my mom from killing Jason, my brothers from killing each other. And I just don't want to get punched along the way. Okay?
You need to look at everyone and be like, you don't go against the family. And you just need to be the Kris Jenner of this situation, Adam. Just take it.
And tell them.
Just take.
If you had a business, then you would understand what it takes to run up an Adam live.
Oh my God, that's my favorite conversation. I was telling them yesterday, I was like, guys, I was going on live for NBC. And then right after NBC, I was going on live with Page 6. And they're like, it's not okay. And I said, guys, this is a 900 square foot apartment. And they just brought home subs. And my mom's like, I'm like, Mom, I'm live. And she's like, you're doing your like camera thing. I'm like, no, it's work. Okay. Michael,
you better work.
I love this trio. Wish I could join you guys in Nashville. Love the energy and all of your perspectives. You're all super easy on the eyes.
Online.
Nice bonus. Still waiting on the jockstrap merch too. Mike, thanks, Mike. Emily, you don't know this, but Michael joined us. Mike joined us in on one of my lives, and then he became a hit with like my channel. And then everybody started messaging him on Twitter and calling him Hot Mike and trying to slide into his DMs. It's Zach right now.
Mike. Is Mike hot?
Jock Flag. What?
Oh, I was going to post a very naughty photo on my Instagram stories and say, waiting for Josh Flagg to slide into my DMs. And I was going to tag him, hoping he would slide into my DMs. But then I remembered the morality clause in some of our contracts.
Well, you need the friends only section on Insta, which I've learned about, which is fun.
But then Josh Flagg wouldn't be able to see it.
That's true. The amount of things that slide into my DMs are interesting, and things that I never thought, would be happening to me sometimes. It's a lot in the DMs. It's a lot.
Mean,
I get a lot.
No one wants those pictures. I need to start sending Zach the pictures I get in my DMs.
Listen, I have to, sometimes
some of them are rough.
Sometimes
some of them are real rough.
And sometimes I rip people apart. Like when they send me, I get people who send me nudes or nasty comments or like what I would do to you. And Jason doesn't understand. And I'm like, look, bitch, said no one ever, go away. Get a job or a man or a woman, whatever you need, but it's not me. So leave me the fuck alone. I don't want to see, I say it every day. I don't like being touched or touching people. What makes you think I want to see your third?
Please don't send me those pictures and videos.
Also, I feel like we need to have like nude etiquette, because like when I get nudes, I don't pay attention to like the business. I pay attention to like, why didn't you clean your mirror? Because I can see all the spots on your mirror. I zoom in to see what type of hand soap you use. Like, are you a Dial type of bitch? Or do you like Myers? Because Myers is a little bit cleaner, and I would prefer somebody that has more of the non-toxic soap. I want to see, are there clothes on the background, on the floor? Because like if I'm going to take a photo, I'm going to clean the mirror. I'm going to make sure there are no clothes around me. Like I'm going to make sure that
attention
the
to
background
detail
is just exactly.
It's going to be exquisite. And here's the thing. I have Manscaped as a sponsor at least twice a month on my podcast.
I want Manscaped as a sponsor. I will shave my pubes on Instagram Live.
I don't doubt that. But if you know this about me, don't send me ungroomed. Just don't send me any photos. Please don't. Like, unless it's actually your literal four-legged friend, dog or cat, I will accept unsolicited pet pictures all day long. Do not send me the other pictures. But if you do, also, why are you not groomed? Like, this was, you planned to take a picture. What is happening there? Don't. It's not good unless it's a really cute pooch or kitty, actual four-legged friends.
Unless it's one of the paw nerds, don't send it.
We love paw nerd pics. Love them.
Yeah.
Love just pet pictures.
If you send me a nude, I'm going to be like Netflix's Don't F with Cats, and I'm going to be detective on all the little details. I'm going to see what country the bug is from. Yes.
God. Okay.
Zach will find your whole life and your bank account.
I don't even know what the hell this conversation was today. This was supposed to be New Jersey, but it became New Jersey / Jen Shah / Erica / dick pics / spilling tea live.
No one's giving us enough in Jersey. Obviously, we wandered.
Yeah.
Yes.
We wandered a lot. But
Adam, is it time for our giveaway announcement?
Oh, yeah. Why we have 650 in the room, guys. Go ahead, smash that like button. And to end us off, because Emily has somewhere to be at a hard 2 p.m. Eastern, and it's almost 2 p.m. And Zach has a call that he has to jump on. Zach, will you give them the announcement behind curtain number 2?
Behind curtain number 2. Yes. So for those of you that still can join us live, I know that we have sold out of VIP tickets to Nashville and VIP tickets to New York, but we do have some GA tickets left. So for everyone that buys a GA ticket between today, Wednesday, March 16th, and Friday, you have until Friday to buy a GA ticket.
That's 3 days.
We are going to pick 3 people at random and upgrade you guys to the sold out VIP packages. We're sold out. We're not allowed to do this, but we're going to fit 3 of you or 3 ticket buyers.
I love that you're like, Emily's a lawyer. If the venue gives us any crap, we're just going to like throw her up there and be like, handle it.
Yes.
We're going to be like, this is my mom. This is my mom, hot mic.
And it's also not, and Zach, just so people understand too, we're picking 3 people, but it's not just like, well, okay, you bought 5 tickets for just yourself and your friends, and we're only upgrading you. We're upgrading 3.
The full party.
3 full parties for each city. So Nashville and New York, Los Angeles, we already have over 200 people in the room. It's crazy. And the venue's like, stop bringing more people. And we're like, okay. So Nashville and
Yes.
New York, we're going to upgrade people to VIP. Again, like Zach said, you have until Friday. So go to spillingtealive.com. And if you can't make it, you're out of town, you're out of the country, you're out of state. I don't know where you're at, but you can watch us on live stream and it's going to be fun.
Love it.
And
be sure to DM us the screenshot that you've purchased a GA ticket.
So how do you enter?
So
you have to DM
buy your GA tickets and DM Adam and I a screenshot of your verification. And just for everybody that's already purchased GA, this will be everyone that's purchased GA will be entered into this giveaway. So you just have until Friday to enter, but be sure to send us a screenshot to verify that you do have your tickets, your GA tickets.
yeah, so either DM me or if you want a more organized version.
Just DM Zach, y'all.
Yeah, just DM Zach. Because I'm over here. I don't know what the hell's going on. And I got to go. I have a family to wrangle. You know what I mean?
Adam doesn't even answer my DMs.
Well, and half the time I don't answer your calls. And then you yell at me because I keep my phone on Do Not Disturb. And then I call you back. But Zach, I think I call you 5 times a day, every day.
Yeah, we talk Adam, all day, every day.
Yeah.
You can select whose calls can go through when you're in Do Not Disturb.
Thank you, Emily. Thank you.
But I think Do Not Disturb it sends a message like she's busy.
Listen,
leave her alone.
Kim Kardashian, Kourtney. Kim Kardashian, Kourtney. Kourtney has boundaries.
Kourtney's got a man.
She does, and good for
Kourtney's
Kourtney.
very entertained with her man. I kind of love it.
And I'm out there, playing with the Pete Davidsons.
With your dick pics. No, honestly, sometimes I'm like, make me a Kim. No, I love you, Jason. I'm just kidding. He's watching this right now while he's on the treadmill. Okay, with that, guys,
Hi, Jason.
We've been all over the place. I don't know what the hell is going on, but Michael, hoping you win. Michael, are you coming?
Is Michael coming?
It'll loosen you up, Zach. I don't know what that means.
What is going to loosen me up?
I don't know. I don't know what that means. Okay. Thank you, everyone. Verification only. Anything. Kim has a man too. That's true.
Yes, but she's not committed.
Yes, she's not committed. All right. And hi, Jason. All right, guys, if you're not following Emily D. Baker, she's the #1 legal commentator on YouTube who just hit 200K. And that is a huge, huge accomplishment. So congratulations to Emily.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yes.
That's so kind. It happened yesterday while I was on my live stream, which was wild. So it happened while I was trying to stream.
I received 7 DMs from people telling me I better go congratulate you. Literally while you were on the live stream. And I was like, oh, she hit 200. And they're like, yes, bitch. Have you said congratulations? And Zach got them too.
We're friends.
I was getting them too.
You guys, we're real life friends. It's fine.
Yeah.
They don't, it's fine. We're all good. But we were talking about other legal cases. We were trying to get into all of it and I didn't get to everything because we hit 200 while we were live. It was great. My channel absolutely took a hit talking about some disfavored topics that I thought were important in the law. So it was really nice to be able to hit that milestone and see where the channel goes. It's been growing. And with that, I have the opportunity to travel and do some, live coverage from court proceedings. And it's rare that you actually get a lawyer in the courtroom giving you kind of the play-by-play of what's going on. And I'm excited to get to do that. So my first one is Arkansas for the Josh Duggar sentencing, because I'm interested to see if there will be victim impact statements. And then Jen Shah, I'm going to try to get to a Brittany hearing if it stops getting put over. And so we're going to take this shit on the road.
Oh shit.
And all of us are taking this on the road. So
hey guys, see you on the road. Let's get a bus.
I'm here for it.
We'll get not a Sprinter van. Not a Sprinter van.
Not a Sprinter van.
No. Hell no. We'll go with the bus. Okay.
Yep.
All right. Well, Zach, we'll let Emily go, and then Emily, is there anything else that people that you have coming up that you want to tell anybody about, or just the law nerds know?
I mean, the law nerds know I'm at the Emily D. Baker all over the interwebs. My podcast is The Emily Show. This week, this episode dropped this morning covering the Amanda Bynes conservatorship. I cover the law in the pop culture space. So that is what we are doing. I've got an episode coming up soon on both Anna and the Tinder swindler, because there are lawsuits going on with both of those. God. So I'm doing some diving into that, but I do the legal breakdown. with some sass and some cursey words. The goal is to make the law so that y'all can understand what's happening behind the headlines. And that's been a lot of fun. So, and both of you have been so generous to have me on and talk about that with all the Bravo-ness of it all. Hopefully the Bravo legal drama will slow down, but I don't think it will.
I don't think it's going to anytime soon. No.
So thank you both for having me on. I can't wait to see you in person in Nashville. And thank you, Law Nerds, for being here. If you guys haven't subscribed to both Zack and Adam, I mean, Zack's podcast every single week smashes it in the ratings. So be sure to do that. Check out Adam's channel because Adam's getting all the exclusive interviews. He's playing nice with the Housewives and he's like, come on my show. So if you guys want those exclusives, you need to subscribe to Adam and Zack both. So
hey, Emily,
I will see you soon.
We love you and we'll see you soon.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
All right, Zack. And thank you to all of the Law Nerds. Yeah, guys, don't forget to smash that like button. Our two big announcements today were live stream tickets are officially out there. We have GA, but honestly, I'm encouraging everybody to just get the VIP bundle because the VIP live stream tickets are $14, $14.99 per city, but the bundle is only $29.99. So you might as well just get the bundle. You get all of the extra bonus footage. You get behind the scenes and the after parties, and you can buy it all at once, and then you get to join us in all 3 cities. And we are upgrading, like Zack said, 3 parties for each city. So Nashville and New York, right? For each city?
Mm-hmm.
Yep, Nashville and New York. So buy your GA tickets, but you have to buy them by Friday and DM us and let us know, and we will pick at random. Zack, before we go, is there anything that you have coming up?
Well, first, I just want to say thank you and shout out to Birchbox because we couldn't make the live stream possible without them. So please show Birchbox some love, guys. They have so many fun, cute sample products that you can try before you buy. If you are obsessed with skincare, hair care, lifestyle, fun goodness, then definitely give Birchbox a try and thank them. Like tag them on Instagram or Twitter. Thank them for making this possible because we love them and we're so grateful for their support.
We love Birchbox.
Yes, we do. And then for me, I mean, you guys know I have my YouTube channel, youtube.com/justplainzack. I have the podcast No Filter with Zack Peter that airs new episodes Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. This week we have MJ on from Shahs of Sunset. Last week, we did another Girardi deep dive into the California State Bar. Recently had on Sheena and Brock, Alexia from Real Housewives of Miami. So I have a lot of good Bravo interviews, Lindsay from Summer House, that continue to come. So like I said, MJ's on the show today. Have a lot of tea to spill there. And then my new wine. So we know we have the classic rosé, but I'm also launching the new white wine that is on sale next Wednesday, March 23rd. Here's one of the first cans that I revealed. It is the Or What inspired by Beverly Hills. So 13% alcohol by volume, but less than a gram of sugar. They are yummy.
They're for all of these skinny
bees.
Okay.
NoFilterWine.com.
And we know we said this, but today is the last day. If you guys want to grab tour merch, you can grab the tour merch. I have the link in the description right here, but then also I have it on my community tab. Today is the very last day. With that, guys, we love you so much. Mike said, love the wine. We love you so much. We will see you soon. Thank you so much for participating, guys. An hour and 40 minutes in. We killed it with over 600, 700 in the room. Thank you to all of our amazing mods. Thank you to our super chat, super stickers. And thank you guys for just being a part of this journey. We love you guys, and we will see you so very soon. Bye, guys.